5 worst hotels in Anchorage, Alaska, as seen on online as well as personal experience. Number 5 is the Aviator Hotel or Lofts. It was used to be the old Holiday. Um, it's located on Third and Second Avenue, between Third and Second Avenue of Anchorage, Alaska. It's the older part of town. It is in need of a lot of renovation. It's concrete, so um, the floors are almost, I would say, about almost 7 feet high. So it feels really cramped. The decor is looks like the 80s, but fancy 80s, and most of the furniture is that way. And I've heard rumors that there might be bed bugs in there, but they keep on um, fumigating. But I've stayed there twice, and um, I wouldn't stay there again. Number 4 is Travel Inn. I've never stayed here, but they do advertise on Craigslist for that the rooms are for rent for like uh, $256 a week, which is about what is that? Almost $800 a month plus tax or minus tax after you stay a month for here in Anchorage. But just reading the reviews on the left, the, this hotel is horrible. It's a very shady side of town. Downtown, right there on Gamble Street, is pretty um, not a favorable part of town of Anchorage, Alaska. Just throw that in there. So this is not personal experience. This stuff I read online. For number 3, it is Extended Stay America Downtown. I have stayed here twice, and it is pretty bad. I mean, the rooms, like the person said in this um, uh, description, is that it's very dirty. The towels are dirty, and the room the room isn't cleaned. You only get your room cleaned if you stay there for a week. I don't know if you're familiar with the Extended Stay America hotels, but they're more set up for long-term stays, and it really reflects this. The only good thing about this hotel is that they have a pool. Um, that's when I stayed there for 2 nights because it's right next to the federal building, and the federal building's in downtown Anchorage, and it's um, pretty bad. I mean, like, and then you have to pay for parking too. They don't tell you that in the reservations. Um, I rented a car and um, parked it, and it's like $6 a night, $6 or $7 a night to park your car because it's downtown and there's limited parking. Um, they only give vouchers to people that stay longer than a week. So just FYI, if you ever stay there, don't rent a car. Just take an Uber or a taxi. But Extended Stay America downtown is pretty bad. Um, the staff can be friendly, sometimes they cannot be. Number 2 is Microtel Inn and Suites by the airport. I've stayed there personally. The staff was really rude. Me and my mom flew down for a she had to have a checkup, so we flew down, and I thought it was a great price for the summertime. It was like $120 a night, which is great for Anchorage and during the summertime. So I booked the room, and then we went in there, and the room wasn't even clean. So we went down, and the lady said that they were overbooked when we were there. So she couldn't put us in a different room, that they would clean the room. So we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And they said they couldn't get any hotel staff to clean the room for us. Because we checked in right when we landed about 8 o'clock in the evening. So we ended up calling my brother and going to his house to stay. That's how bad it was. It was pretty gross. The hotel was last renovated in, I think it was 2010, but it's still pretty bad. It smells musty, and the ventilation's pretty loud, and you can hear everything going on in the hotel. So I would not recommend staying there. I've stayed there 3 times in my life living here in Alaska, and I would not recommend it. And the number one on this list, this is a short list that I've personally stayed at, most of them, is guest house. Guest house used to be Days Inn long ago. I stayed there when it was Days Inn. It was alright. And then I recently stayed there like 2 years ago, when it was guest house. And I only booked it because I was traveling in the summertime. Most of these times I was traveling in the summertime, and these are the cheapest hotels I could find. And so I stayed there, and it was pretty disgusting. I mean, I personally would never stay there again. It is, the pictures make it look nice, but in reality, it was pretty bad. Like, the hallways smelled like mold and kind of grungy, and people weren't like the class A kind of people you'd want to hang out with. And I worked in the state building right next to it, and it continued to be like the party central. It's located on Fifth Avenue, and you can walk to a couple bars from there. Apparently, a lot of people would just crash there, but I felt very uncomfortable there, even with the deadbolt on. And there's tons of street noise because it's right next to a very busy road, Fifth Avenue. Um, Downtown people took a shortcut through downtown to get to various industries on the either by the airport, or some actually work at the state building, or ConocoPhillips building. So it is pretty sketchy. It does not look as good as the pictures. It kind of smells like pee when you go in there, and mold, pee and mold. It needs to be smoked in, so you get that little bit of smoke smell, but it's kind of gone away. All hotels in Anchorage are now smoke free, as of 2000. So just FYI, it's just the luck of the draw. There's other hotels I would not recommend. I'll put them at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm just trying to build my channel and see what people like. Other hotels I wouldn't consider staying at is Econo Lodge. I never stayed there, but just looking at the people that stay there or around the building, it's pretty sketchy. Mush Inn, when my mom would come down to trade, she used to do arts and crafts. We stayed there one time, and it was very hot and gross. When we stayed there, and that was in the 80s, and it just looks like it's gone way worse since then. It hasn't been upkept very well. It's the Mush Inn and the Merrifield Inn. They're right next to each other. They're both pretty gross. Extended stay Midtown. My aunt stayed there. when her daughter was in the hospital, and it felt like there was bed bugs when I sat on the couch, and I made sure to wash my clothes right after I sat on the couch there at Extended Stay Midtown. And they allowed dogs, and my allergies were going crazy. In the tower, my cousins stay there, but when I went there, I just had the weirdest vibe, and it just felt creepy to me and very thin and old. Um, I guess they call it retro nowadays, but still, I would personally stay there. They're very cheap. These are all very cheap hotels, but these are like the last thing before staying at a hostel, I guess. Alright, thank you for watching. Like I said before, I'm just trying to see if people like these kind of videos, and I'll put more out there. I'm just trying to build my channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.